It began with a whisper. A single tabloid column, overnight, insinuating that Sam Heughan and Dakota Johnson had become entangled, behind closed doors, hidden from public view. Nothing overt, no photographs, no confessions, just rumors. Sam's secret liaison with Dakota? A betrayal of trust? Sam first saw it on his phone in the early hours. He jolted awake, bleary-eyed, to a glowing screen filled with headlines, shares, retweets. The allegations were vague, but effective. Enough to cast doubt. Enough to stir gossip. He stared at the names side by side. Sam Heughan, Dakota Johnson. He exhaled. In the quiet of his London flat, where the lights were dim and the city murmured beyond the windows, he felt that familiar constriction in his chest. His pulse thrummed. He rubbed his thumb over his phone screen as though he could erase the words. He had seen this before. The shadows of rumor had always haunted public figures, but this felt different. Personal, intrusive. He rose, pacing the living room. He glanced at the framed photos, his parents, his dog, his most faithful friends. He had always tried to keep his private life private, shielded from speculation. But that boundary was now cracking. He needed to respond. He needed to break the silence. Yet how? A statement? A public interview? Or worse, a denial that would amplify the noise? He paused by the window, looking down at the drizzle-slick streets. He thought, I won't let what's false become louder than what is real. He grabbed his coat and stepped out into the London night, determined to take back control. The next day, Sam flew to Los Angeles under the excuse of a remote press commitment. In truth, he had arranged a meeting. One person he believed could help him navigate the storm, Dakota Johnson. He remembered their meeting at a film festival 6 months ago, cordial, professional, respectful. A handshake, small talk, warm smiles. Nothing more. He contacted her through mutual acquaintances, carefully, discreetly, asking only for a chance to speak. She agreed, enough to meet at a quiet cafe late afternoon, out of the public eye. When he arrived, she was already there, sitting by the window, sipping a latte. She looked up, surprised but composed. Her expression was guarded. He slid into the seat opposite her. She gave him a small nod. They sat in a bubble of hushed conversation in half-light. Outside, the street buzzed. Inside, their conversation felt suspended. He cleared his throat. Dakota, I didn't want to come here under suspicion, but I think we need to talk. She studied him, alert. I saw the headlines, she said softly. You called me. Yes, he replied. Because I want this, whatever it is, to end. The rumors, the insinuations, they're hurting people. I want to say what's real, and let lies die. Dakota folded her hands. Her eyes, which the cameras often captured as luminous, now looked weary. I don't want trouble, she said. But this is already trouble. They talked then, not as celebrities, but as two human beings caught in a web of speculation. He explained how rumors had started. A blurry photo at an after-party recirculated, lines taken out of context, coy comments misinterpreted, whispers turned into headlines. She listened. She did not interrupt. Her face was calm but distant. Later, when Sam paused, she spoke quietly. I've had my share of rumors, too. I know how it feels to have your name twisted. He nodded. A weight shifted between them. Not confession, not alliance, but understanding. Before they parted, Sam said, I'm going to break my silence. I want to set the record straight. She hesitated, then nodded. Do what you must, she said. But be true. Back in his hotel suite that evening, Sam sat at the desk. His aides and publicists hovered outside the door, waiting. He asked for privacy. He opened a blank document and began to write. His fingers trembled. To all my fans, colleagues, and the public. Over the past days, rumors have circulated linking me and Dakota Johnson in ways that are untrue. Let me be very clear. Dakota and I are acquaintances in the industry, nothing more. I deeply respect her as a talented person. These rumors, and the lies spun around them, hurt more than just reputations. They wound trust, sow doubt, damage relationships. I hope that by speaking now, I can restore clarity. I will not engage further with speculation, but I refuse to let falsehoods stand unanswered. Thank you to those who know me, to my loved ones who support me, and to anyone who seeks truth. Sam Heughan, he read it aloud. His throat tightened, but he signed it with resolve. Within minutes, the statement was released via his verified channels: Instagram, Twitter, his website. A press release went out to major outlets. Social media erupted. Some applauded him for courage, others quibbled over tone. The tabloids ran headlines, but the statement stood firm, measured, unflinching. As he slept, the world responded, but for the first time in days, he felt a sliver of calm. Of course, it was not enough. In the morning, there were op-eds. Why Sam's statement is too little, too late. Gossip podcasts dissected every line. Some fans demanded photographic evidence. Others accused him of being the perpetrator. Sam read the headlines, one by one, his heart sinking. At times he wanted to delete the statement, retract it, vanish. But he held firm. His manager, Kate, called him. "They're attacking your character," she warned. "Be careful." He replied, voice low, "I knew they would. But silence is not an option anymore." He flew back to Scotland a few days later. At his home in the Highlands, he walked the moors, thought in solitude, craved quiet. The wind hissed in his ears, echoing rumors he was trying to outrun. He received supportive messages, co-stars, fans, friends. But amid them, there were ones he couldn't ignore. Whispers from tabloids, faint jabs from media outlets, suspicious glances on the street. One morning, he went to the local cafe. The barista looked at him and said, "You know I'm a fan, but people are talking." He smiled politely, ordered his coffee, left. Behind him lurked the echo. People are talking. One evening, Sam called his sister, Fiona, in Aberdeen. He poured out his frustration, his fear. "I feel exposed. I never asked for this public trial." She listened. She said, "Sam, you're not defined by rumors. You're defined by how you respond. You took a stand. That shows strength." He thought of his father, who had always told him integrity matters. He thought of the countless fans who looked up to him, of the causes he cared about, climate change, mental health, the arts. He realized then, this was bigger than any rumor. It was about truth, about reclaiming his narrative. He sent Dakota a message. "Thank you for your honesty earlier. I want the record to show respect, not shame." She replied in minutes. Understood. Days passed. The rumor mill slowed. New stories emerged. Celebrity divorces, film leaks, political scandals. His name faded from the viral lists. But more importantly, thoughtful voices rose. Journalists who questioned the ethics of rumor culture. Fans who defended him. Editors who apologized for sensationalism. Sam was invited onto a talk show, not to rehash the scandal, but to speak candidly about the toll of public scrutiny, the temerity of social media trial by rumor. He spoke with authenticity, not defensiveness. He said, "When you are in the public eye, your silence is often taken as guilt. But silence can also be dignity. I broke silence not to win a war, but to reclaim peace." The public, at least partly, listened. In the quiet weeks that followed, Sam sought solace in nature, in friends, in the company of those who knew him. Not the ones who saw headlines, but those who lived with him. He reunited with long-lost hobbies, hiking, reading poetry, writing letters. He spent evenings with Fiona, with close friends, laughing openly, without camera flashes. He slept more soundly. And yet, he never forgot the sting. Every time a random article titled, Sam Heughan Dakota Johnson Rumors, resurfaced, he felt the echo, momentarily startled. But he no longer recoiled. He acknowledged, exhaled, and moved on. Some months later, a major tabloid ran a full-page piece. "We were wrong about Sam Dakota. Our apologies." It was rare, a mea culpa in celebrity gossip. They acknowledged errors in sourcing, exaggerations, lack of evidence. They apologized to both actors. It didn't erase the pain, but it shifted the narrative. On his social media, Sam posted a quiet comment: "Truth matters. Damage done can be restored, though scars remain." Dakota reposted it with a nod. In a serene autumn evening, Sam stood in his Highland garden, wind nuzzling the heather. He thought about what had happened, the lies, the stress, the breakdown. He thought about Dakota, about integrity, about speaking even when it hurts. He realized, breaking the silence was not about victory. It was about dignity, about reclaiming self, about reminding the public. Rumors without substance can kill. He whispered into the wind, "Let them talk less, let truth echo more." He turned, entered the house, shut the door gently behind him. Inside, a soft glow of warmth awaited, not the glare of cameras, but the comfort of home. He exhaled and smiled. The scandal faded into the archives of celebrity lore. Sam Heughan continued his work, acting, advocacy, art, with renewed resolve. Dakota Johnson continued her own path. Their names no longer tangled in gossip columns. Occasionally, tabloids reminisce, but the story now reads, a man refused to let lies stay unchallenged. He broke the silence. And in doing so, he reclaimed his story.